Beautify July Day 13. Hey everybody, today I am so excited because I'm finally doing my Battle of the BB Creams video. I have tried to do a lot of research for you guys and really test out the products that I have to kind of show you the different facets and everything of the Drugstore BB Creams that are currently out right now. Which one's my favorite, what aspects of them I like, what I don't, all that stuff. So first I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on BB Creams. BB Creams actually originated in Germany in the mid-1900s, and they were created by a doctor in Germany to help patients that had had facial surgeries or cosmetic surgeries, help them to repair their skin after surgery and to make it better and to really replenish it and bring out all the good qualities in it. And so that's where it started. That's what it was originally marketed and used for. And then it got a really huge following in the Asian community. So it's been really big in Asia. I think that's where it got its following, is all the Asian BB creams. There have been several out for a while. I own one. They are a little bit different than the American BB creams that we are seeing now. The Asian BB creams, I would say the big difference between Asian BB creams and the now American BB creams that are coming out are the fact that the Asian BB creams, how many times am I going to say that term? They have a whitening aspect to it. In Asia, it's like really popular in their society and everything to have lighter skin, to have a very light complexion, have it very clean and light. And for us, in my opinion, the Americans want like a more glowy, dewy, very healthy skin complexion with a little bit more of a color behind it. So maybe like a little bit of a tan. So I think that's where I see the biggest difference here, is that the American BB creams don't have that lightening or whitening effect that the Asian BB creams do. So what the BB creams are marketed as, they're supposed to be a 4-in-1 product. So they're supposed to be your moisturizer, your primer, your foundation, and your sunblock all in one. Now there are a little bit of variations in the American BB creams, and I'll get into that as I go into the different products. But that is the whole basis. It's supposed to be a one-step product that'll do everything for your skin. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to hop into the products that I have. Okay, so I do want to make a little notation here. I do know that CoverGirl has come out with a BB cream. I chose not to review it or to include it in this battle simply because when I was doing my research, I found out that CoverGirl took their tinted moisturizer and basically just slapped the label BB cream on it and put it back out into stores. And to me, I just don't agree with that. I don't like when companies do that and try to trick their consumers. I really feel like that's a low blow to consumers, and it's basically saying that they don't think we're smart enough to catch on to something like that. And I just really don't agree with that. So I didn't include the CoverGirl in this battle of the BB creams. It's the exact same ingredients that are in the tinted moisturizer. I found that on a website. If I can find that website again, I will link it down below so you can see there's actually a side-by-side picture of the ingredients. So not that I don't like CoverGirl cosmetics at all. I do like some of their other cosmetics. I just don't agree with what they did there as a company, so I'm not going to include it in this battle. So first of all is this Garnier Skin Renew Miracle Skin Perfector BB cream, and mine is in light to medium. They do have one more shade, which is medium to deep. So this line only has 2 different colors. That could maybe be a problem if this doesn't really work for your skin, or the other one if you're kind of in between. So that's something to keep in mind. This product is $10.95. It's what I've seen it priced as. And you can get this in most drugstores. This is the first one, I believe, that came out in the drugstore. So this one's pretty readily available. This one does have an SPF of 15, so that's good if you're looking for the SPF in a product to kind of be your all-in-one. And this one actually says that it renews, brightens, evens, hydrates, and protects. That's what it claims to do. The packaging I don't like. I'm really not a huge fan of the packaging on this. The cover, like the plastic covering with all the information is already peeling off, and I really have only had it for like 6 months. And in here, it's a mess. It's really hard to get like a clean swipe of this without getting product everywhere. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. I'm going to do this for every one of these. And this is what it looks like. It's a little bit thicker, and that's something about this one. This one I really don't see being like a really good product for summer if you have oily skin or even combination to oily skin. Since it is a little bit thicker, let me just show you. I'll rub this out a little bit. It looks like this, and it is very thick. I feel like this does a really good job at moisturizing my skin, but since it is so thick, it does make my skin feel oily, and it doesn't really control the oil throughout the day. So oil does creep up on me, and I can notice it throughout the day. After rubbing this in, it looks like this. It gives a little bit of a tint. You can see where the line cuts off here. So it gives a little bit of coverage. I would say this one gives light coverage. You could maybe build it up to medium if you really, really lathered it on, but for me that's just not viable because I don't want my skin to be super oily. This one does have a light scent. It smells kind of, it's got a slight sweetness to it, but it smells kind of florally. And I can tell it. Like when I put it on my skin, I can definitely smell it, but it's not something that I really notice throughout the day. But if you're somebody that can't handle fragrances on your skin, especially on your face, this one might not be for you. And if fragrances tend to break you out, this one might not also be for you. Okay, the next product that I have is the L'Oreal Paris Broad Spectrum SPF 15 Youth Code BB Cream. And it looks like this. And I have mine in medium. This one I think is so similar to the Garnier. I was actually really, really surprised to see how similar they were. It kind of threw me off a little bit when I first started using this. But I got this one medium just because it is during the summer, and I figured I would just go for a little bit of a darker color just to kind of see the difference here. And like I said, this only comes in light and medium. And this one claims to even illuminate, perfect, moisturize, and protect your skin. It does have an SPF of 15, which is really good. This one is almost an exact dupe, but it's more expensive. This one is like $16.99. I've seen it for $15.95 before. So this one is a little bit more expensive, but I feel like it's almost the same exact thing as the Garnier. It's thicker. The packaging is pretty much the exact same. It is messy. And I will go ahead and show you this as well. It looks like this. It's pretty much the same consistency. It's that thick, really moisturizing kind of material or formula. And since this one is darker, I mean, you're obviously going to see a little bit of a difference on my skin. But that's before it's really blended out. I'm just going to blend this in. This one, this is the part that really surprised me, is that this has the exact same scent as the Garnier. It's that light sweetness, completely floral scent, and it just blows my mind how similar they are. So again, this one, because it's so moisturizing, I don't really like it for the summer. I will try it again in the winter and see if it's better for me. Being the medium shade, it does have a bit more color to it, so you can see where the medium is, and then this is my normal hand color. So this one might give me a little bit more coverage, I feel, because it is a little bit darker, but I just have to work at blending it through the skin. But since it is more moisturizing, I would probably wear it during the winter. If you have dry skin, I think it would be okay during the summer. It's all about how your skin is and like how it reacts to this stuff. So if you are going to pick between these two, I would say go for the Garnier, because one, it's cheaper, it's been around a little bit longer, and yeah, overall it's just cheaper. They're basically the same thing, but this one's just cheaper. Okay, next is one that I've heard a lot of people rave about recently. It's the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB Cream 8-in-1 Beauty Balm Skin Perfector. it's a little bit of a smaller package, but I really like the packaging on this one. I have mine in medium sheer tint. This one is probably the best range of colors. It's got 5 colors. So it has, let's see, it's got light, light/medium, medium, medium deep, and deep. So if you are looking for something where you have trouble finding shades, I think this is the best. Another cool thing about this is, I don't know if this is everywhere, but in my drugstores, they actually have little sample sizes of these in front of all of the colors, so you can kind of test them out. Don't know how much I trust drugstore testers just because they're so readily available and so many people try them, but I think that's kind of cool that they do have testers to kind of test out on your skin. This one has an SPF of 30, so this is the highest SPF in a product. If you haven't seen my SPF video, I will link it somewhere in here, and I will link it below. SPF of 30 is pretty much a golden standard. You're good at SPF of 30. If you want to use just this as your sunblock, I think you could get away with it. I would still wear sunscreen under this if you wanted to, especially in the summer. This one is $8.99, so this is a little bit cheaper than the other ones. I would say this is a pretty equivalent to like a normal foundation you would find at the drugstore in price. And this claims to brighten, even tone, smooth, and hydrate. So it has 8-in-1. There are a couple other things, but those were the main things that I thought the claims showed to do. And this one, I really do like the packaging a lot more. Since it has this little tube here at the end, it's easier to like kind of push off of your skin. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like not as messy. I feel like it's not as messy, so I like the packaging on this one a lot better. And this one is a lot more liquidy. It's not as thick as the L'Oreal Youth Code and the Garnier. I'm just going to blend this in really lightly. And you can see it's a little bit darker than my skin tone, but for the summer I think it's good. I don't think it's too dark. It really, really blends in nicely. I think it feels very smooth on the skin. It's not super oily. It's definitely not as thick as the other ones that I've showed so far. And that is it blended in. As you can see, I think it blends really nicely. It dries evenly. There's not really any streaks or anything. And having the widest range of shades, I think this would work for a lot of people. The one thing about this is I feel like it does a better job at controlling shine than the Garnier and the L'Oreal Youth Code, but my shine still creeps through. If I want to control shine, I really have to add a powder in the morning to kind of set it. But in the summer, what I really want to do is just have a really easy routine and just put on some foundation or BB cream, which is what I've been using a lot lately, and just kind of go. So that's really the only downfall of this one. I really do like the Maybelline. I trust Maybelline products. I think they're great, and I think their BB cream is really, really spot on. I think it's a really good product. Okay, and the last BB cream is the L'Oreal Paris Magic Skin Beautifier BB cream. And mine is in the shade Light. I really like the packaging on this one. It looks a little bit smaller, but it is a longer tube. And this one comes in 4 shades. It comes in Fair, Light, Medium, and Deep. I have the Light. When I was doing research on these BB creams, I heard that these can run a little bit darker than what they say. So instead of going with medium like I did for some of the other ones, I decided to go for light, and it's actually perfect for my skin tone. I think it's good for summer. It's a little bit lighter, so I feel like it could work in the winter as well. This one claims to prime, perfect, hydrate, and correct, like it says in the packaging right here. And this one retails for $10.95, so it is a little bit more expensive than the Maybelline. It's kind of similar to the Garnier. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more, this could be one you could try out. And the packaging on this one is actually my favorite. I like the little purple cap. I think it's cute. And it has this little squeeze tube at the end. So I feel like it's very clean. Now I just want to show you, because I had this thing upside down. It was like spilling over my hand. This is a very thin product. This one is very, very different than the other three. And it looks like this. It's white. It almost looks like a sunscreen. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there's little specks. They're like little color balls. I don't know if that's really like tinted. That's where the tint comes from. So it looks white. And I will just try to... I mean, that would cover my whole face pretty much. But it rubs in really nicely. It feels a little bit exfoliating when you put it on your skin because the little beads are bursting and releasing that color or that tint. But it smooths out really easily. I think this glides over the skin the best of the 4 products. And it blends in really, really nicely. And I feel like it dries but not too fast, and it leaves my skin feeling super soft. Doesn't feel it leaving oily. So that's what it looks like when it's all said and done. I think my skin, aside from my huge vein right there, looks pretty evened out. It is a little bit darker, as you can see. My hands are a little bit white right now. But I feel like it does a better job of smoothing and perfecting and creating an even skin tone than the Maybelline one did, if you can tell. So I really like this one. Overall, I'd say that this one is my favorite of the 4. I just really like the coverage it gives. I feel like it gives the best coverage. It controls my shine the best. I feel this one, I don't have to set it with a powder in the morning. I feel like I can get away with going probably 6 hours before I would have to touch up with anything, which is really good since I do have oily skin. Okay, so I just want to kind of explain to you how I've been applying these products since I've gone through all of them. I don't wear moisturizer under any of them just because I do have oily skin, and I feel like if I put a moisturizer under any of them, it's just going to make it even more oily than I want my skin to be. I feel like they do give enough moisture to my skin. However, with each of these, I do wear a primer. I don't think that these have... enough primer in them, or whatever the ingredient is for primer. I don't think they stay on the skin super long without a primer. I've tried them each with and without a primer, and they work best with primer. I just use my Laura Mercier oil-free primer, and that works the best in my opinion for these. Okay, so that is it for my Battle of the Drugstore BB creams. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know BB creams are kind of on the rise, so I just kind of wanted to get the information out to you and kind of show you what I thought of the products, or to kind of see a little bit of swatches or see what the formulation of the product is. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you've tried any of these BB creams, I would like to know your opinion on them, how they work with your skin, or what you think of them. So also leave that in the comments below, and I look forward to reading those. I hope this helped you guys kind of maybe decide if you're trying to choose between BB creams, or if you even want to try one at all. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.